Hello, everybody. Welcome to another listen along. I'm your host, William, and today I'm joined by Illymation, Ursa Major. Hello. Let me
Oh,
see. Yeah.
hi.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
No, that's okay. I realized when I started this, I didn't know what to call you.
Yeah, I saw you fumble a little bit, and that is okay. Um, Alyssa works. Alyssa
Alyssa works.
works.
Okay,
And
cool.
I realized, yeah, I've got like a quite a few names going on. And I set up Ursa Major to be like completely different. This has nothing to do with Illymation, but I am Illymation, so what? I don't know. That
Great. Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
confused
I
too.
mean, yeah. It works for me. Works for me. And I think that's fun. I think that's smart. It's fun to have like a music persona as well, like separate from the other stuff that you're doing.
Thanks.
Okay. Anyway, so if you've never been to one of these before, basically what we do is I play the entirety of an album with the person who is responsible for making it, and then we do album commentary. So we're going to be chatting and talking the whole time. I'm going to pull up an image here. I've done quite a few of these. You can check them out if you want to. I end up putting these up as VODs on the Oh, thank you, Jacob Village. On the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube. It's called the Second Glass Beach channel. Like that's on YouTube, and you can also find it. I'm going to type playlist into the Twitch chat here. It's a bit.ly/listen along YT, and that's a playlist for that everything I've ever done. No, for all of the ones that I've done so far of these. And Fiscum says hello, hello, hello. First time chatter over there. Again, Jacob Village did an exclamation point listen in the chat, and what that'll do is it'll bring up some links. So the first link is the DistroKid like hyperlink for Ursa Major, so you can check out Neverland on all of the streaming places. I'm going to pull up an image now to encourage you to pull up a streaming provider, because what we do is first, usually I visit the band's website or Bandcamp. That isn't going to happen today, but I encourage you to stream the album. Go and follow Alyssa on whatever app you use to listen to music so you can be up to date with new releases and that kind of thing. And then we're going to get into the crux of the stream here, which is me encouraging you now to open a streaming provider of your choice. I will be using the Green Music app, but you can use the Fruit with the Bite taken out of it. You can use the Jay-Z one or Deezer, whatever you use. And the reason I'm telling you to do that is because I will not be playing the music live on stream. So the EP will be strictly yours to bring up, and then we will do a countdown, which will be 3, 2, 1, go. That wasn't it, but that's what it's going to sound like when I do it. And we will sync by hitting play on go. So it'll be 3, 2, 1, go. Hit play when I say go. I'll be synced with Alyssa. Alyssa will be synced with me. We'll all be synced with all of you. Um, this first time chatter, I am a B class citizen. Dibrisco, it is Spotify. That's the one I'll be using. It's the Green Music app, as I like to call it. I'm very unhappy that I use that app, but I have cultivated a large group of artists and stuff that I follow on there, and I'm trying now that Bandcamp does like playlists and stuff. I'm trying to do some switching over, but yeah, I mean, if you don't use the Green Music app, I respect that entirely. I'm gonna go to a screen now where we can see Alyssa, so it's not just me talking. But welcome everybody. Here we go. You ready, Alyssa?
I am ready.
Oh, okay. And here we are. So we got some people here in chat. We got Rolfie here says, "Hey, I hope my internet doesn't die during this." Hey, me too. I hope that my internet doesn't die during this, because that
Hey, me
will
too.
that will stop everything. Jacob Village can vouch for how great the listen alongs are. Found so many artists through these, and even have seen some of them live now. Wow, that's cool.
Cool.
I love that. Are you gonna play any live shows, Alyssa?
I would love to. It really just comes down to demand and what I can uh, talk to, what I can call on the phone about, I guess. And I know a lot of people have expressed interest in some live shows, and I guess I should look into like super small venues, stuff like that. Like a 30-person thing would probably be ideal. The hard part is just getting all the musicians together that I need and making sure I can afford that with the way it would like offset. But yeah, I'm interested. I'm glad other people are too.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, like, also, yeah, rehearsal time on top of like actually playing the show and like all that stuff. Yeah, it's very involved, especially now that like COVID is a concern. I mean, getting people together at all is, you know, speaking as like someone who did a tour during like the winter of 20 something. I have no idea. It's all mushing together, but like that's like it's stressful and hard to think about, and like logistically things were already difficult before COVID, so I get you. But yeah, I mean it'd be cool to play a show like just even once if you do at some point. Uh do a little like album release or something. We have some
I
other
would love
people in
to do
here.
that, honestly. Yeah, like
Yeah.
something a little. I mean, I wanted to, but I just got so busy last year with like even trying to get it done. So but yeah, I had all these plans. I have a whole like Pinterest board of how I want everything to look and like all the outfits I want everyone to wear. So like it exists up here. I just need to save up the money to do it.
Wow. I mean, hey, if it happens this year, next year, whatever, I think it'll be worth it. So,
I
I mean,
think
hopefully
so
you get that all
too.
together.
Me too.
Uh,
Yeah. Thank you.
let's see. Oh, Moobot's telling me that we're currently recording the latter part of the Glass Beach LP2. Interesting. I didn't know that was there. Okay. Fiskip says, usually buy CDs myself, so no need to suffer with streaming. Wow, you listen to CDs. How old are you?
They're making a comeback. I heard like CDs are like Gen Z's new,
Vinyl.
like they're vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. I mean,
To be
listen, that's
fair,
probably for
yeah,
the better. Vinyl's like having horrible, horrible production problems. So,
they are. And
and
CDs are
yeah,
cute.
CDs are cute. Like I like the little crystal cases. Why not?
Yeah, yeah. I've been really into Ghost lately, so I have there's a time I went to Amoeba and I was looking for a Ghost album like on vinyl and I couldn't find it and I was like, let me just see what they have in CDs. And they had it. I was like, I didn't know they even did CDs, but you know what? It is cute. It's very 90s. I think that's why it's coming back.
Mm, yes. Yeah. I mean, everything that was old is now new.
Yep.
And that's always how it is. Everybody does that. It's like it's fun. I have no problems with it personally. Oh, that's
Yeah.
cool. Great. Well, that's good to know. I mean, CDs are cool. Do you have CDs?
I have one.
You have a single CD.
It's Ghost. Do you have CDs? Do you want to see it? It's just the most recent one. If
I
I'm right.
really don't have CDs. I have vinyl.
Oh,
I am of the age where we were like, yeah, vinyl's awesome. We're doing vinyl
yeah.
again.
Oh yeah, I have a ton of vinyls too. Mostly Ghost.
Mostly
But
Ghost. Wow, you really
yeah,
are into Ghost.
I'm really into Ghost. I know this is a podcast to talk about me, Ursa Major, and Neverland, but I would gladly talk about Ghost and what's going on right now with Ghost. They have lore. It's crazy. I'll stop now, or else I'll just keep talking about Ghost.
No, that's all right.
But
Hey, maybe if we need to fill time ever, you can talk about Ghost. But
oh, thank you.
I'll do a last. This is the final call. Everybody, pull up a streaming provider of your choice, and we will get to listening to this. Again, I'm going to do a countdown so that we're all synced up. The music won't be played live on stream, so you'll see over here what's happening. Listen to music. Music won't be on stream. Pull it up yourself. Listen along. Current timestamp and the song are on the bottom, and they will be throughout the entirety of the stream. And again, if you go over here, you'll see the listen exclamation point listen over there. If you type that into the Twitch chat, if you're watching this on Twitch, then that will pull up three links. The first link is the big DistroKid hyperlink for Ursa Major, so that you can pull up Neverland, which is the EP we're going to be listening to at wherever you stream music, basically. The second link is specifically to Spotify. Because that's what most people use. So I just put it in there so that you can click that and go on. And then the third link, this isn't why we're here, but I did link Alyssa's YouTube channel, because if you don't know, Alyssa also is a YouTuber. So, and does cool, great, not always fun, but story time animation. It's
Into
always good. Let me see here. Oh, Ralphie says I like cassettes more than CDs, but it's definitely easier to get a CD player in some form. Yep, yeah. Also, like cassettes and like tape players, like they run down faster than pretty much any. Like if
Oh.
you can overplay a tape like so easily.
Oh, whoops. Hang on.
And then we got conclusive tap. Huh. Oh wow, they want to offer a promotion to my channel. I wonder if I can just.
That seems really legit. I think you should jump on that. I don't think it's a
I
scam
think that's
at all.
extremely legitimate. I think. It's okay. Oh, someone's trying to say be gone bot. Yeah,
Be gone.
I where are my see, I haven't done this in a while. I'm trying to find my mod resources here.
Oh, you're good. As
I
long
just
as everyone in the chat knows not to engage
Yeah, nobody
with
engage with that. Don't go to the place they told you to go to.
no.
And
Don't.
that should be fine. All right, we can move on. As long as
Yeah.
nobody gets involved with that. No, hold on. Not a Glass Beach fan. Hey, wait a minute.
God.
Hold on. Is it Twitch.tv? Is it really? I don't have time to figure this out. I'm sorry, everybody. It'll be there. Whoa, for real? Yeah. Hello, everybody. First time chatter terrestrial. Um, that should show you. Will that show me the mod stuff? I just have to move on. I have to move on. All right, we're gonna do it. Are you ready, Alyssa?
I'm ready.
You have the EP pulled up.
I do.
I also
And I'm
have
ready to
mine.
press play.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the countdown and again, we're gonna all hit play on go. So, and I'll start
Yes.
with 3. So, and it will be very deliberate, evenly spaced. So you should be able to do it. Okay, everybody got their streaming provider pulled up. I'm gonna do the countdown now. So here we go. This is Neverland by Ursa Major. And the first song is Sweaters. Neverland, Ursa Major. First song is Sweaters. 3, 2, 1, go. I really like the drums on this.
Thank you. I did not play them.
It's got a
My
little,
good buddy.
it's got that little lo-fi feel.
Yeah, exactly what we were going for. Um, yeah. So, in general, making this whole album, I can play a little bit of ukulele, but that's about it. And so I enlisted the help of Johnny Manchild. He has a band, Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards, and he and his drummer, he works with Ethan. Together, they were able to make the music. But first, I just sent them some audio files of me singing just a cappella set to a metronome and was like, this is all I can do. Can you help me do the rest? And they were like, sure. And I was like, God, really? So I sat down in January 2021, no, 2022 with Johnny at like a piano. And for like a week, we mapped out all the songs to like get like just basically a piano version with scratch vocals on it. And I'll say that Sweaters came along pretty easily. They all did, really, except for Kel Surprise. I wish we'll get to that one next, but that one sounded like polka music on a piano. And I
Oh
was so
no.
scared it would not come together. I was so scared about Kelsapries, and that's Sweaters is great. Um, but Kelsapries I'm most proud of. But yeah, all of the lo-fi stuff. Essentially, when I worked with Johnny, I knew what I didn't want. He was like, "What do you think of that?" And I was like,
No.
softer. Yeah. And I don't have, I learned a lot of vocab from working with all of them, but like, he was like, do you want it more music vocab? And I was like, maybe. So, but
That's
yeah.
the that reminds me the first time that my I ever like recorded a record when I was in college with a friend of mine. We just kept like saying to the engineer, we were like, "Can you make the guitars more stingy? Can you make them more stingy?" And they were like, "I don't know what you're asking me to do. I mean, I guess."
There's like a language barrier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this one has a music video.
Yes, this one does. This one's really cool. It has I have a lot of really cool pre-production stuff. I don't know how I could share that, but like I essentially asked my original background artist was uh, IU, and they were the ones that made the Illymation background style everyone knows today. And they've been off doing other really amazing stuff. And I was like, "Hey, are you free to like do this important project?" And they were like, "Yes." So they did a whole uh like color script for it, which is I think why it works so well from beginning to end because like all the colors are very deliberately chosen to push the story and it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
that's awesome. Like a
it is.
Oh, and here's is this you playing the ukulele?
Yes, and it's this one right over there. Let me grab it. This is an ukulele that my dad built. And it's
Whoa.
actually electric acoustic, but so this end part was all in one take. um like we did it, that was the first take we did, and I was like, is that okay? And they were like, yeah, I think we got it. And I was like, really? So that's what this, it has this weird, it's out of tune, but it has this like real twangy sound. But yeah,
Okay, can
made
you
by
tell
my
me how to
dad.
pronounce the title for this one?
Yes, it's Kelsey please, and it's French.
Yeah, I
uh,
figured.
so this is not me being a French apologist. I just took a lot of French in high school, and I was like, that was fun. And one thing we did in French class was we listened to a lot of French pop music. And I was like, man, I wish I could write a song in French. I speak English, but it just sounds cool. And this one I wrote. I know it's a really upbeat song, and thankfully, like a lot of people, they're like, that one's my favorite. I'm like, me too. But Kelsapries is one of those like sad bops you don't realize are sad unless you
Mm,
speak French. Or even if you speak French, you're like, so the song is essentially like Kelsapries being the English phrase we use to be like, I'm so surprised by this. Oh, Kelsapries, I knew that was coming. And that's the whole point of the song is to be like, there's this person I was interested in, and I was like, I should not be interested in them, and I'm pretty sure they like me too, but we're just not going to talk about it.
hmm.
And so so the whole like I hate distance makes the heart grow fonder, because to me it just makes me more anxious in situations like that. I just know we have so much left unsaid. And I love the idiom. I believe that's the right word I'm using. Yeah, French idiom. It's called l'esprit de l'escalier. And that was going to be the title, but I was like, people won't be able to read what that is. So let me think.
Yeah, I couldn't even read this.
Yeah. So the idiom l'esprit de l'escalier is a French idiom that means like the spirit of the staircase, which is when you've had an argument or whatever and you leave a conversation and it isn't until you get to the bottom of the staircase or a time later where you're like, that's what I should have said. So
Okay.
yeah, and I made it in a romantic sense to be like, every time I see this person, I should be like, we should cut this off. We should stop seeing each other. But instead, I just get caught up in the moment, and I'm like, let me not. And then when I leave, I'm like, why did I do that? And
Yeah.
and I can. and it's like, dis-moi sens tu, like, tell me you also feel the spirit of the staircase. Please tell me you also know this is horrible and this is going to end badly. And Kelsey, please, of course it did. Like,
Yes. Okay, cool. So it's almost like sarcastic. Like
oh
in
yeah,
yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool.
certainly.
I love that. Oh,
Yeah.
by the way, some people in the chat were Friskum says this is the definition of soft comfy music. That was for sweaters.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And yeah, and then DeBrisco also says new essay writing playlist. That's fun. Okay.
Mm, I'm glad.
I also really love your vocals on this one. I mean, you kind of like I like your voice like just across the board on this on the record, but uh this there's like your it's funny that this is like French aesthetic like because this is like French new wave. This is
It
it
is.
reminds me of that a lot. It's like interesting.
Thank you. No, I after this album, I was like, I want to do more French English stuff, and I'm glad. Like, this is definitely the one I had the most fun on too. Um, the last note on Kelsa Please, because it was all French. Johnny did not speak French, and he was like, I need to put harmonies on this, and I was like, uh. He was like, I just hear it out, and I was like, well, you are a musician, so we have this scratch track that's hilarious of him like, just
Just like kind of like hitting the vowels a little bit. Yeah.
yeah, and then I had to write everything out phonetically for him to be able to sing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And this one is Neverland.
this one's Neverland, the title track. Um, this one I was like, I want to make a sad song, and I
Yeah, it
made a sad
starts as a
song.
soft piano ballad. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, this one I don't I guess I'm not in the point with songwriting that I can just sit down and be like, I think I'll write a song. I'm
I
also not
you're
that way with writing.
no musicians are never there. That's the don't
Okay.
worry. Don't worry.
Okay, good. I was like, so I was reflecting on that Kelser Please situationship, but we were barely dating, but how much it wrecked me, and I was like, how would I expect that would even work out? I was in IKEA. I was in the Burbank IKEA.
Oh, that one's
Like, walked
huge.
around. That was huge. Yeah, yeah, I had a lot of time to reflect. I just literally went there to just like not be inside thinking about it. I was like, let me just walk around somewhere else. Um, and I remember I was like walking through the kids section. They have all those little tents
Mm-hmm.
and all the colors and stuff they have there. I was like, I don't know why, just the color scheme reminded me of like Neverland, of like the rainbows and the greenery and stuff. And I was like, that's how this relationship, the only way it could have worked out is if we flew away to Neverland and time stopped on Earth and time froze out there and we could just live out whatever fantasy we wanted to and come back when we're done.
Yeah.
So that's yeah, so that's how the entire EP really came together. It was just this idea of like romanticizing relationships, especially bad ones, and how maybe in the moment it feels good, but how long term it'll just you just break your own heart. Like you can't even I can't even blame the other person. I can for a couple things, but yeah, I will,
You walked
I can
that
say
back real fast. You're like, I
yeah,
can't
no,
even
I
blame them. I can't.
I can't. Well, I can for a couple things. We'll get there with pretend.
Right,
But
right.
yeah, yeah. But Neverland was like, yeah, the only thing I had left from that situationship was the chapstick that we shared because we were kissing so damn much, our faces would get all fucked up. So I was like, just I just really clung on to that, and I didn't throw it away for a couple months. And then when I did, I was like, okay, now it's real. But also very sad to think like that's the only like souvenir from a relationship was chapstick. That probably meant nothing to him, but meant a lot to me.
Oh.
Yeah. But it's like I guess I'm more thinking of things more from an artistic standpoint than like
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah.
personal beef.
I mean, that's like well, it's that's
Yeah.
still a sweet thing to hear.
Yeah.
I don't, yeah, that's like, yeah, that's a sweet. The strings on here, by the way, they're is. How did you get this? What is this? Who did this?
Oh, who did this? They're real. They are. It was a four-piece string quartet uh, that Johnny knew. So about a year ago now, I flew out to Oklahoma City because that's where he's from. And that's where he originally moved from when he moved to California, and one thing led to another, yeah. But he knew them. He has so many contacts over there. Um, and I was like, I want to be there for this. I want to shake their hand and say thank you. And I have on my Instagram, which is my Illymation Instagram, Neverland behind the scenes, and in it, I have some videos of us recording this, and he's like orchestrating and everything, and it came together beautifully. I just wanted to put like all the effort I could onto this one to really make it feel like this incredible ballad and just emotional everything. And they did an incredible job.
Yeah. Yeah, it suits the song so well too.
It does. Uh, so this next one is Dance With Me, Darling, but I didn't like how it looked when I wrote it out, so I just shortened it to DWMD, which I also liked how that looked better because, I don't know, with Neverland, it's a very, I almost think of it conceptually as like kind of a mirror image of, reality versus romanticism.
Oh,
And with,
yeah, and that's yep.
yeah. And with DWMD, it's like the W and the MD, they could flip, and I don't know, it almost kind of read it back and back. This one, this one, there's supposed to be a different song here in its place, and I just wasn't happy with it. And maybe I'll release it some other day. And then Johnny was like, well, 5 songs on an EP, I guess that's okay, but 6 might be better. Do you want to write something in the studio? And like time was ticking. I booked us 10 days and we had
Wow.
time, but I was like, I don't know. Like we already recorded and produced an entire song in its entirety, and then I was like, I don't like it. What do we do? And so I went back to my Airbnb. We recorded this at Kingside Sound Labs in Los Angeles. So I got a little Airbnb for those that needed to spend the night and stuff. So I was scrolling through my notes app, just trying to, because that's where I write shit down. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh my gosh, I have a whole song hidden away here, lol. And this one, I I had this hidden away. I think I wrote this in like 2018 or something. I wrote this like, I don't know, it was more just reflecting on the relationships that you can kind of feel are ending. And it's kind of it's the concept of like one last dance, one last kiss, but also
Hmm.
one last, can we just like pretend things are okay just for a little bit, as we know the world is like literally ending. Um it's like you're watching a meteor come to Earth. It looks slow, you know it's coming in fast. And it's just it's really sad, but also very just kind of clinging. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're holding on to an altered reality of your circumstances.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
saying like, we know that when it ends it's going to be really bad, but the last 5 seconds are going to be really nice. So, yeah.
And a
And
nice
this one
little
I just
piano solo here.
It's Johnny. Johnny was like, "Can I have a piano solo?" And I was like, "Sure." And Ethan was like, "Can I have a drum solo?" And Johnny said, "No." But yeah, this is one that we made completely in the studio. Like I just was like, "Here's what I think it should sound like." And then Ethan was on the drums, and I have a bunch of like behind the scenes like filmed. I just haven't had the chance to put it together, and but one day.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
And
awesome.
this, thank you. Yeah. The strings right there that are happening, fake, but Johnny was like, it needed something. And I was like, yeah, it did need that.
Yeah, it's
It's
really
okay.
good fake strings.
Amazing. Yeah. I was like, did you fly the string players to LA without telling me? Where'd these come from? Like it came off great. Came out great.
By the way, a while ago, so someone Ans06 said about Neverland that Neverland is the soundtrack of my life, which
Oh no.
um
I hope you're okay.
I hope you mean aesthetically, maybe. Like,
But if it's relatable, I mean, it was relatable to me too, so we're in the same boat. I hope you can
yeah.
grow from it. Um,
And somebody else did say that they had it on shuffle and they weren't paying attention, so I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Fiskum. And this is Lady.
Lady,
Lady.
Lady's a bop. Um, Lady is okay. So Lady is a song that it was. This is me just being like, okay, I'm not perfect. I'm not just gonna play the victim and be like, every heartbreak I have has not been my fault. It's like I have broken people's hearts, and that's what this song is about. This song is like this, like, yeah, this relationship is perfect. I love you so much. Like, oh my gosh, you remind me of home, and just really getting caught up in maybe even love bombing. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and then when we get to the bridge, it's this very sudden, like, we broke up, and
Yes.
I broke up with you, and now you're probably walking through your neighborhood thinking like, what the fuck did I do wrong? And it's you didn't do anything wrong. Like, well, I mean, some relationships don't work out, but I didn't handle the breakup well. Like, this is the whole Neverland is about not handling the breakup well and reflecting on that. And the other side of the breakup is being the one that breaks up with other people and breaking their heart. So, um, that's what it is. It's like,
Yeah. I love the
yeah.
tonal shifts like from song to song too, because it's like it's not like jarring, but it is like it's like taking some journeys. It's not just
Mhm.
keeping you in the same place. That
I'm
was yeah.
glad. I wanted Neverland to be a thought process, but also like I guess almost work like a concept album. So the point of it is that it has all these stages of like, Sweaters is about, love yourself before you can love others. Kel Surprise is, oh look, another toxic flame. Maybe and then you get caught up in it. You go to Neverland. You're like, maybe it will work out. Ah, dance with me, darling. It's don't leave. Ah. And then Lady is, all right, I did something wrong here.
Yeah.
And then Pretend we'll get to. Pretend is the little bit of a spite you're allowed to have, but like a little bit. You're not allowed to have too much because then you'll get
Mhm.
crazy. And then, and then you start all over from the top. You're like, gotta love myself before I love others. And you could get caught in this cycle of romanticizing your bad relationships um, until you stop listening to the album and go listen to something else.
Yes. Or put it on repeat.
Or
Rinse and
put it on
repeat.
repeat. Yeah, like whatever you need to get through it. But um, yeah, it's supposed to be this back and forth of like, oh, poor me, and then I should have known better, but poor me, and then let me think about that again. So,
This one more than any other track on the album is like musical theater ish, like esque.
uh,
A little bit.
yeah, no, it is. This one reminds me of Good Morning Baltimore. I don't know.
I understand with the ba bum bum ba bum.
Yeah, and I didn't want my stuff to sound musical theater y, but a lot of people say that, and it's a good thing. So I'm like, okay, I'll
Yeah.
just, yeah,
Oh,
like
I can't sing in front of people without them being like, "Oh, you must have done musical theater." And I'm just like,
I
I'm trying to sing like an indie musician right now. I'm trying to like get rid of my obnoxious vibrato. I'm trying
yeah. It's
whatever.
like, oh, you have really good diction. I can hear every consonant. And I'm like, you're supposed to, but
I want you to hear the lyrics. They're important, but
yeah, exactly.
and this is
Um,
pretend.
yes. So here's pretend. Um, pretend is my little bit of petty that I gave myself, and that petty comes from me in the situationship from Kel Surprise. He was like on again, off again, and like, we shouldn't do this. And I was like, oh, okay. And then he'd be like, I didn't mean it. I want to be with you. And I was like, wow, really? And like, I shouldn't have gone back and forth. And I did, argue back, but I still took him back and forth. Um, and then there was a time where he was crying to me and was like, I'm scared I'm gonna break up with you again. What do I do? And I was like, don't, please. But
Ooh,
if you do, we
yeah.
could just end this. And he was like, no, I want to be with you. I just like, because we were also kind of long distance. And he was like, it's just, when I go home, it's like, you're not there. And then I'm like, oh, maybe we don't need to be together. And then I was like, well, just pretend we didn't say goodbye. And he was like, yeah. And then I remember he looked up at me because he also does music, and he said, that's a good lyric. And I said, okay. And then I don't think I've ever talked about this publicly. Then he went and wrote a song using that. And when I heard it, this is the fastest song I've ever fucking written. And I came into the studio the next day and I said, Johnny, I got another song. We're recording this. So I'm like, dude, if you're gonna not steal my lyrics, I didn't copyright them, but like, man,
Yeah.
man, it's just like, and it's okay. I'm like, I don't think anyone has sussed out I am the person he wrote about. Um, but I just made sure when he listens to this song, he knows that I knows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's also that's like such a thoughtless musician thing to do. Like I definitely did that when I was younger, where like I I would have an argument with like a partner of mine or something, or even like a friend, and I would be like, "Gosh, I gotta get my feelings out," and then I'd like go and write a song, and then I'd be so proud of the song that I'd like show it to them, and they'd be like, hold on, this is,
This is about
what
me.
you wrote this literally about the argument we just had, and I'm just like,
Like
well,
word for word.
I'm just like it's inspired by like the feelings I was having, but it wasn't like it's not like about that exactly or whatever. It's just like whatever. I'm a lot more careful about that kind of stuff, and like it's important to write, you know, about what you have going on, and
Yeah.
whether
I'd say
it's for yourself or for like relation to like other people, and you know, but at the same time there are real people involved and there can be real
yeah.
consequences.
Yeah, and it's like just being able to accept those consequences or have enough other lyrics around it where you can have plausible deniability or just it can like that could inspire like an argument can inspire and be a catalyst, which that whole breakup was a catalyst for this whole album. Like I was like, oh, I've always wanted to record sweaters. I wrote that in 2016. Dance with Me Darling, I found in my notes app. Lady was not even about that person. It was, one thing can inspire the whole thing, but just one song gunning after one person can be very Taylor Swift, and maybe it just should just stay in the journal, you
Yeah.
know? But yeah.
Oh, we got J Shark in the chat saying Glass Beach Animation crossover episode. This is sick.
Hello, J Shark.
Hey,
How's
long
it
time no
going?
see.
Uh, oh,
Oh gosh.
that's the end of it.
Well, I got auto played some other music. Okay, well, great. And I want to say before we get too far away from it, the like big like sort of raucous gang vocal thing at the end. I love that. Like with the just like everybody, all the instruments are like like
Let
it's
me
great.
see if I can find. Okay, we had a version of that. I think I might have it, and I'd love to share it. We had a version of that where it was even longer because we just needed to record a long bit of it and then fade it out and trim it. And so it was Johnny and Ethan, recording on top of each other to make it sound like a crowd. And Johnny just got super into it, and then Ethan got super into it, and it just got silly because they knew it was going past the time. But let me see if I can find it.
Yeah. I mean like it sounds like it was a great environment to record in, like with good people, because you know there can be less ideal studio situations, less ideal people to work with, and so I'm glad you found people that not only helped you achieve your vision, but were also like seemingly a delight.
Yeah, that's I didn't real so I'm very lucky. In recording this first album, everything went along swimmingly. We even finished early. We had extra things that we were like, "Oh, just use this out of the notes app." Like and they told me that. They were like this just went so nice and easy and everyone was a pleasure to work with. We were all looking forward to working together. We all just clicked creatively, and it was great. And I was like, I've never had an experience other than this. So I was like, what do you mean it gets bad? What do you mean? Why would you work with people like that? And they were like, well, it makes
Yeah.
sense. It's still it's your passion, but it still works. So yeah, I'm very lucky. You can say with full confidence, everyone was having so much fun, and I would gladly do it again. Every now and then, Johnny's
Yeah.
like, "Hey, you want to go to Sonic Ranch?" And I'm like, "Let me write some more music first," and I would love to.
I have to know, Alyssa, how like
Yeah.
so you have like a limited like you can play the ukulele. Can you play any other instrument?
Um, I joke that I can play the nose trumpet, which is like, but no, that's it.
Okay.
Just to let you
Wow.
know.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh
All
yeah,
right. Let's mark that down. Two instruments then. Okay.
music
Uh,
major over here. No, no, just the
I
ukulele and just some chords.
yeah. The only reason I'm like curious is because like I just like so you just figure out songs by singing them
Yeah, and
to
I
yourself?
know I know the melody that I want, and I thankfully Johnny's brain understands what my brain is trying to communicate in what I'm doing. And
I
yeah,
mean, that's great. Wow.
yeah, I would be nothing without those poor bastards. I really want to stress that. I'm
Hey, it seems like
I
they're having a great
yeah,
time.
they're having a great time, yeah. But yeah, um, it was. I mean, I would say to him like, I want it to be more, na 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 na, and he'd be like this. And I just,
Wow. That does sound fun.
that sounds very fun. I was like, I think I owe you some more money, Johnny. Here you go. But yeah, if you like how my music sounds, you'll probably like Johnny Manchild and the Poor Bastards. Obviously, it's more punk and more. I told him, oh, like ska, and he said, no, it's not ska. But I'm sorry, sounds a little ska to me.
Yeah, it's not ska. We just like have horns and we play on the upbeat, and it's really
Literally,
energetic.
it's awesome. I wish he'd lean into it, but yeah, it's punk and big band. I think it's what he said. No, punk and jazz, and he calls it junk. And I thought that
Junk.
was
Oh,
funny.
punk and jazz junk. Okay, cool.
Jazz and punk junk. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, thank you for having me. This was a really fun
Yeah.
listen along and hyperfixation word vomit time.
Oh, good. Yeah. I mean, it's great. I like the reason I started these because I love hearing musicians talk about their music and the love of the craft and where things came from and how they got to where they are. By the way, Terrestrial here in the chat. Well, Debrisco says every song a banger. Great.
Thank you.
Terrestrial says, oh, I can't remember again. The French one.
Yes.
Quelle
Oh, surprise.
surprise or something.
Yeah, pretend that QU is a K. Kelsey, please.
Quelle surprise. And the R is an L. Supplice.
It's if you
It's
type it into
okay.
Google, yeah, it's
It's
okay. I'm not
okay.
here to teach you French. It's
No,
I,
it's
and
all
you
right. I've been taking Spanish on Duolingo. That's screwing me up because I'm trying to roll all the R's too. So
no.
okay. Anyway, so Terrestrial says that song is top tier for them. Relate to angsty song with upbeat melodies. Lol,
I'm
they
glad.
say. And then Protonics one says Pretend was great. Love that one. All slapped though. So all slapped, but Pretend seems to be an outlier for them. Like this is
Thank
this
you.
one.
Yeah, I no. It's funny you say that. When I put out the album, usually you expect with like an album, the songs at the top get more plays than the bottom because eventually people are like, "Well, I've had enough. Let me jump."
Yep.
But this one, the plays go like whoop. Like some people leave,
Oh.
but then some people come right back and they like pretend. Like I think I'd have to double check the numbers, but pretend is up there, and I was surprised to see that. I was like, yay, people are making it to the end, but also yay, they're one of their favorites is at the end. So I really appreciate that feedback because
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but when I have been working on this music, I was like listening to it a million times over and was like, I hope this is good. I don't really, I'm way too biased now. Like,
Yeah. It is
you
hard to know what is going on anymore by the time you get to the point of actually releasing an album. You know.
yeah.
I mean, I don't know how long like some of these songs were with you, but just like as an example, like I have been working on an album for how old am I? I'm like for maybe 12 years. And like I
Yeah.
have songs like back from when I was 18 years old that I still really love and I have never like recorded because I've
Hmm.
always been working on like other projects or like, part of other bands and we would focus on their music, but I have like songs from all the way back then. And it's just like yeah, if you sit with something for that long and like it's been that close to you for so long, it is sort of hard to tell what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very like, is this good or is this just something I like to sing to myself around the house? So,
Yeah, and why not both? Who knows? Yeah,
yeah,
if you like singing it to yourself, odds are somebody else will like singing it to themselves around the house.
that is
Okay, cool.
true.
Anything else you want to say before we can wrap this up? Anything you feel like you didn't get out?
I feel like I got all my thoughts out. Thank you.
Cool, good. Yeah. I have one final question. Are you someone who likes to listen to their own music, or is it like sort of hard for you?
It's hard for me. I think the only difference is like I can bop to Kelsey Please, but when my stuff comes on, like my Spotify like shuffle, or like if it comes up within my algorithm, I'm like, huh. I mean, good. Like I won't skip through it for my algorithm to be good, but I'm like, huh. It's like, how do you feel when your music comes up? Do you like to listen to it?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean,
Yeah, good.
I have the benefit of being like not the primary songwriter for Glass Beach.
There you go.
I'm the drummer and I like do little things here and there, but I was a huge fan of our first album for a long time. I would put it on constantly after we got done with it, and I was just like listening. That's one thing. My Spotify Wrapped every year is always just Glass Beach, and I'm just like, I wish you would just
That's
take that off of
amazing.
there. Like I'm in the band, get rid of it. Like I want to know what my actual like who are the other artists I listen to. Anyway, but aside from that, like I also happen to be a rare breed of person who loves the sound of their own voice. Like I love my speaking voice, I love my singing voice. So like when I do release music and when I do record something, I do love listening to it because I'm just like, oh, like that's me.
You're like, oh, I know who that is. Ooh. Yeah. I
Hello.
I when I listen back to the songs and stuff, I just think like I'm just a perfectionist. So when I listen back, I'm like,
Sure.
oh, I could have said that better. And actually, Kelsey, please, there's a French word in there that I mispronounced, and I think it throws off the grammar. Thankfully, the song is not popular enough to have reached France, so I have not angered the French people yet, but I know it's coming.
Oh
The French
no.
Canadians don't mind. The French Canadians are very nice, but I'm afraid of the French. So
Wow.
yeah, so
I
uh,
mean, yeah, yeah. I can't imagine they. Yeah, I mean, from all of the media I've consumed, I believe French people don't take to their language being mispronounced very well.
not very well. It just
Well,
and
dang, that's
I
disappointing. I'm
guess.
sorry.
Yeah, well, no, we're good. The French people don't know about it yet,
Oh well,
so
yeah. I just mean for
we're
your own
good. Wait,
personal
true. Thank you.
feelings and vibes.
But now I
Yeah,
know, and I can like double, triple check next time.
yeah.
To, but I
Well,
mean, one out of a million. We're good.
I was saying that your highest city is London. Did you see that?
Oh no, hold on. Let me open
Spotify.
up.
I checked out your Spotify earlier, and it told me that London is like your most played city, like
What the
right
heck?
now,
Hold on.
currently. So I
Let
was
me go
like,
see
interesting
what
because Los
happened.
Angeles is number two, and I was like, wow, okay,
Why are we? That'd be pretty cool. If I could get big in London and need to do
just
a
huge
show
in
in
London.
West London, huge in London, like the Londoners love me. Like I, let me check. That is so
And
interesting because
then
I was keeping up with it when it first came out, and then I was like, well, I don't need to stare at this every day. Um,
yeah, I mean, I imagine I did the same thing for Glass Beach. Like and whenever we get a little spike, then I'm like back to like I'll check this every day. Why not?
yeah,
And then like and I have to like physically remove myself from it, and I'm like okay, well here I'll log out so it's like harder to log back in or something, and I don't save the password or whatever, that kind of thing.
right.
I'm sure. I mean, like with your YouTube channel, I'm sure you feel everything at tenfold of what I'm talking about.
I yes, and funny you bring that up. So like with Neverland, I was very happy that you were like, let's talk about this. It came out great because I was scared it flopped because I'm used to Illymation numbers and starting a whole new project. I was like, oh my God, it flopped. And everyone I talked to is like, no, it didn't. Like, you just started this. It's doing great. And I was like, but, no, but.
Yeah, yeah,
And that's just, and like, to have another platform of my own, be able to push people there and for them to actually enjoy it is like already a hard thing to accomplish. So, um, I'm just sitting back and being like, okay, yeah, no, that didn't flop. It did. It's a new artist. It's a new path. I could have uploaded things onto Illymation, but the whole point of it is that it's not Illymation. It's a different thing entirely. So I really
yeah,
appreciate all the people who have been like, yeah, we really like this. When are you coming out with more? So I hope they come out with more.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a very real phenomenon. Like, having I think thing that people don't really understand about like platforms or like, about having like kind of one thing that you're sort of known for is
Mhm.
people are there for that thing.
Yeah.
There's like a subgroup of people that are there for you. So if you do
For
other
everything.
stuff, yeah, they'll be like, "Oh, cool, I want to check out this other thing that like Alyssa's doing or, that William is doing, that kind of thing." But a vast majority of people are like, "I like the Illymation YouTube channel." Like
Mhm.
I like these videos, and if you do something else, they're like, "Okay." I mean, that's
Yeah.
great, but I'll just keep watching the videos in the meantime or whatever. Like, and yeah, I think that that's something to learn as a creator as well, because like I know we've learned that with Glass Beach. It's like if we do any, even like kind of selling merch is kind of hard. Um,
Yeah.
just
Like, oh my God. No, same. Like I had merch for Neverland, but it was all, set for pre-order. We had to hit a certain amount, and if you don't hit that amount, then you got to send refunds and no merch. And it's hard because it's already hard enough to be like, "Hey, can you follow this link and go listen to this entire album?" I get that because when creators do that, I'm like, maybe later, LOL. But to buy merch is like, oh man, for me to buy merch, my hyperfix coming back to Ghost, my hyperfixation on Ghost had to marinate for a good couple months before I was like, okay, I think I'm gonna give them money. You know,
yeah,
merch is hard because I also think merch is something that kind of, dare I say, everyone has. And what's so special about a
yes.
T-shirt? So
I mean, I have two of your T-shirts
thank you.
as
It's
well.
hard, but it's. I need to. I want to get some of your merch. I saw there was a link in the description or link in
Oh yeah, we
when.
have some merch right now. We're a little light. We're a little light on merch. We haven't done a drop for a little while.
Ooh.
It is funny though when you have like something that people actually really want. It is like so funny, like because you're like, oh, people like we love this merch. These designs are awesome, and then it's like none of them get bought, and then there's like one where
Yeah.
everyone buys it, and you're like, oh, I guess that's the thing everybody wanted. It's like,
Yeah.
wow,
It's hard on like the design side because I'm like I want to make things that people want. I want to make things I want to wear too. And it's hard to it's like it's a whole new like with creators, it's this whole new section of being a creator of like can I do I have what it takes to be a fashion designer? No, it's going to take some trial and error. So, uh,
yeah.
I dig
Well,
these. I love a good beanie. Hold on. I'm
oh,
shopping.
the is it the fairy one or is
Yeah.
it the calico one? Okay.
Oh yeah, and the Glass Beach, the sold out tour T-shirt. Oh,
Yeah. Yeah. We did. You know what? Who knows when we'll tour again? Who knows? It's just like it feels like every year there's like a, well, not every year, but there's the I know like so many people who have COVID right now, and I'm just like I don't want to get COVID again. I got it once, and I was like, oh, like, I mean,
it
yeah,
was
I can't go through my life without getting COVID again. Probably, that's
but
it
I can
feels
be
like inevitable,
dangerous.
but yeah, yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's just like touring is so hard. Like the amount of people whose like vans break down or they like their gear stolen or yeah, I mean just all sorts of stuff. Like when we were in Chicago, somebody like broke into our van and like luckily none of our stuff was like in there, but they busted the window out and we had to pay for that, and it was really expensive. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Uh,
but it's wild. Well,
but
I think I could talk to you for a
fun.
while, Alyssa. Do you want
Yes.
to wrap this up here?
We
I
should
can.
wrap this up, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Just because we haven't talked to each other in a while, so I'll leave, and if we end up connecting off stream at some point, we can chat more about like logistics and merch and
Yes.
and stuff like that. Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to the screen now where it's just me. So, oh, I'll go back. You say bye if you want to. Here we go. Back to
Yes.
you.
Bye, guys.
Okay, back to me. All right, cool. All right, well, thank you, Alyssa. Thank you to everybody who's been here to listen to this with us. If you came in late, or if oh, Rolfie says luckily my internet didn't die. Hey, that's great. And mine didn't die. Alyssa's didn't die. We all got through it. If your shuffle was on and things got screwed up, if you came in late, if maybe you just arrived or whatever, I will be putting this up as a VOD at some point soon. I have to fix some other stuff before I do that, but it will be going up on the Second Glass Beach channel on YouTube. You can check it out there. It'll live there. And then you can always put this EP on and listen along to it to hear Alyssa's thoughts and like hear me be like, ooh, this is so good. like over and over and over again. Okay, cool. That's all. I have some more of these coming up, but none of them are official. I haven't pinpointed some dates. But I have some cool artists that I'm gonna be having on. I really love doing this and sharing music with other people. And hopefully you come back and check out more. If you don't, if this is the only one you got, then I appreciate that too. Make sure you follow Alyssa. Check out Illymation. Follow Ursa Major on all of the streaming platforms and the apps that you use to listen to music. And I'll see y'all next time. Have a good rest of your day. And I'll say bye to you off stream, Alyssa. So bye, everybody, except for Alyssa. But bye. Here I go.